And that is true as long as we are content. Like I said, as long as we are masters of ourselves. Um, so when I am feeling really good about myself, when I am feeling really confident, then people can ask, oh, can you help me with the shopping? Can you help me with the washing up? No problem. I could probably go and do a job. And I have been able to. So it all depends on how in control of myself I'm feeling. And I know a lot of you have children who just reject everything, like an allergic reaction. Reject everything as in reject any instruction. Oh, brush your teeth, or clean up your room, make your bed, time for school. Because they spend so much of their waking hours under serious oppression from the world. So much is expected, so they have to slip inside this shell, this veil of protection. So of course they've adopted a brace position and they're going to deflect absolutely everything. But if they were to feel completely comfortable and competent and confident and poised, I suppose, then they wouldn't feel any need to sidestep a demand. So instead of trying to get them to do something, try and enable them to feel in control of themselves, masters of their own thoughts and emotions. So, I've digressed. That's why I need to try and stick to this book, because I have a tendency to ramble on, so I apologise for that. So, yeah. Other things that work in a working environment, when people give you the freedom to decide if you want to do something or not. So instead of, do this for me please, it would be so much better if we were asked, are you able to do me a favour? See, it's a question. There's nothing being imposed on me, there's nothing encroaching this peaceful, serene vicinity inside me. It's like you're being called upon. Knock, knock. Can you do a favour for me? Can I not? No, I'm busy, or I'm not busy. Yeah, sure, why not? And then instead of asking, can you do this for me? Because they're immediately expecting you to say yes. They're hoping that you're going to say yes, and we can pick up on that. Can you do this for me? They want me to do that, so no. No, I won't do this for you. Or what's worked for me is when people just announce that they need help with something, they don't direct it at me. It's kind of indirect, like, oh, it'd be really great if someone could help me with the gardening. I'll volunteer immediately. It's got nothing to do with laziness. It's got everything to do with me trying to stay intact. So, I need help with the gardening. Yep, I'll help. And that works. Not everyone's like that. Some people are just like that without even realising it, and that is great. If I've ever been in a situation at work when someone can behave like that, then perfect. Someone can ask without expectations, without need. You can feel the need in people. Like, I need someone to do this for me. I need someone to do this for me. No, why should it be me? Or, it would be nice if I had some help. But it doesn't matter who. I'm just asking indiscriminately. Yeah, then I'll offer. So gardening, I did that, which was nice. I was out in nature, so that was nice. That was therapeutic for me. But it was just one day, which was the inception of the honeymoon period. So I wanted to please them. I could stay in control as long as they are pleased. So if they said, Harry, I need help with this, then yes, of course, I'll help you, because if I'm helping you, if I'm doing as you say, then I'm staying in control. Can you kind of see how it works? Other jobs. I'm not going to mention all my jobs because, I've been fired and whatever, and I've had to resign from a lot of jobs just because I can't persevere with them any longer. I worked at Hollister, which is like a sister brand of Abercrombie and Fitch. That was my first proper job that was just a complete disaster. I couldn't do anything really, because I have sensory problems, and there were always really strong, pungent smells, and the lights were dark and they'd flash occasionally, so I had no chance. There was nothing I could do. It was just game over from day one. And I used to lock myself in the toilet all the time, and there were mannequins that we had to dress to fit the image of Hollister, like in a kind of California surfer dude. Hey man, look at me, surfs up, gnarly, whatever. And I'd do the complete opposite. I'd try and dress the mannequin like a gangster, which elicited quite a few laughs from my colleagues. But you know, I'd pull the trousers down below his glutes. I'd bring a hat into work and put it on sideways, and find like some kind of bling $sign chain and put that on the mannequin. Like, everyone else was laughing, but I was like, oh, for goodness sake, you know, why did I have to do that? Why do I have to embarrass myself like this? Because if I didn't do that, if I didn't accede to those neurological biddings, then my anxiety would just increase and increase and increase and increase and increase. And the more I leave it, the more messy the consequence is going to be. I suppose it's like if you shake a can of Coke. You know, when you open the lid, it's just going to go tss at first. But if you shake it, if you continue to leave it, it's going to go pfft. So that's an analogy I'm using. Let me see, what else have I got here? So yeah, when I'm at work, and if I'm feeling good about myself in general, people might ask, can you do this for me? And it will be a demand. I can feel it building up on me. I can feel my heart go ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. But then I'll ask myself, shall I do this for him? Is it right? Am I doing anything else? Am I going to be a disservice to him if I don't do it? And that often helps. You know, learning to compose myself and not to let the demand in. Like, imagine I've got like these barriers all the time, and I can imagine these questions and requests coming towards me and knocking on this barrier and saying, can we come in? And I decide whether it comes in or not. You know, I decide whether I take on the anxiety. Obviously, sometimes it just doesn't work. Jobs that have worked for me, I'm a guitarist, so I've taught lessons on and off over the years. And yeah, that works because I'm in control, I'm my own boss, I can kind of choose when I'm available, so that absolutely works. In the US we have things like Uber and Uber Eats, which is when all you need is a car, you don't have a boss on your case all the time. So, you know, you can essentially manage yourself. You know, these are just like little jobs, you know, like dead-end jobs that have been useful to me, that have worked. I've also been a self-employed online English teacher, which is basically perfect because I get to do things like this. I'm just there with a camera, just talking and teaching, and, you know, I can be myself. That's the thing. As soon as we have to compromise who we are to benefit other people, then all of that boundless energy we have gets obstructed, and it's going to look for an outlet the more it's left. So you can work for me as long as you behave in this way. We find that concept extremely difficult. So it's ideal that people with PDA look for jobs where they can construct and choose their own schedule, when they can be themselves. Because as soon as I have to compromise, it feels like I may as well be working as a toilet cleaner, using my tongue. You know, I know that's extreme, but that's what it feels like. I would rather be doing that out of choice than to have to succumb to someone else's... I was going to use a bad word then, but I know you guys have children watching this. BS standard. Let me see, what else have we got here? Yeah, providing a reason why. So, when people just say, you shouldn't do that, it's not good enough. You know, sometimes I call pathological demand avoidance pathological curiosity. And that's why you don't have to be fearful that your children won't learn anything if they don't go to school, because we are so, like, unbendingly curious, insatiably curious about the world around us. You know, don't do that. Who says don't play with fire?